I have never been and probably never will be anti-screen. I love TV. I think it is a great way to educate your children if done right. But Cocomelon hypnotizes children. They become little zombies. They don't even look away, they just stare. I have personally spent time looking for alternatives to Cocomelon after my son wanted to spend 2 to 3 hours straight watching little JJ singing the same song over and over again. So the first one, Super Simple Songs, is the most direct comparison. It is a lot like Cocomelon in that it has just a bunch of commonly known songs and then those same kind of nursery rhymes switched up lyric-wise. However, they're more traditional cartoons, not like the 3D, but like the 2D animation. What I really like about Super Simple is that they have multiple channels that are in different languages. So for us personally, I play the songs in Japanese and in English to kind of help our children slowly learn or at least get comfortable with a different language. I know Cocomelon has just Spanish, but Super Simple has so many different languages you get to choose from.
A lot of their other content tries a bit harder to be educational as well. Cocomelon has stuff that they would probably say is educational because it talks about colors or numbers or something like that, but Super Simple goes a little bit further, and I would feel a bit more comfortable saying that some Super Simple songs might be something a child might actually be able to learn a bit from.
Oh, and they also don't mindlessly stare at it. That feels important to me. A second one, I think a lot of people kind of... I've never heard other people talk about this one, like other parents, but 20 Trucks is the channel. And it has a bunch of pop-sounding songs about different types of trucks. My biggest beef with this channel is it will have songs that will be stuck in your head for the rest of your life. Fella Buncher, my son, he doesn't really like 20 Trucks because he's not really into trucks, but he will come up to me and sing the Fella Buncher song because he heard it once and he will attempt to sing it. It's really catchy, and I think if your kid is into the trucks, it's perfect.
One that our kids absolutely adore is Nirks. This is a YouTube channel with little puppet planets and puppets of other kinds that teaches kids about astronomy and sometimes other subjects. They also cover different instruments and talk about how orchestras work, but mostly it's a channel about space. And if you've got a kid like we do who's obsessed with space and planets, then this is going to be their jam. The songs are really catchy. The little sock puppet planets are fun, and they really make an effort to talk about things that most kids shows shy away from because they're perceived as being too difficult or too esoteric. They'll talk about things like different dwarf planets or even the moons of different planets and the rings of different planets, and they'll talk about different specific asteroids. It really goes quite a bit further than most shows would, in that you're not just covering the sun and the planets. And that's pretty hard to find, and it actually means that you can advance a child's education on those fronts without just spinning your wheels talking about the same handful of facts about the same handful of planets over and over again.
I think one thing to be cautious about Nirks, or at least to know, is that their original stuff, like their oldest stuff, is this weird, like, Halloween-y, scary stuff. It's not that it's inappropriate or too scary for children, but if you come to it thinking it's only educational stuff, just know that there is some, like, there's a witch song. It's catchy, but, you know, it's not the space stuff that they're doing now. A current household favorite for us is Hopscotch, which is It's a growing YouTube channel is what I would say. They have they're beautiful songs, honestly. They sound very much like something you'd hear on the radio. And they do tons of different educational songs. They do a little bit about space. They did one about the sun, the moon, the planets, and the dwarf planets. They're really fantastic. The animation is beautiful. Our kids go crazy for them. They deliver information in such a clean, coherent way. It's just a fantastic thing to put in front of your child.
They also cover things like different ecosystems and the water cycle and things like that. There's a fair bit of variation in the songs that they've produced.
They have one about the continents. They've got the rock cycle. They have one about boundaries that I found was interesting. It was really interesting to hear the song because their whole point is just if you don't feel comfortable about something, just ask that people not do it, which I thought was, I don't know, I think it's good to let kids know, just because other people want to be hugged and touched, it's okay if you don't.
It's worth pointing out that both Nirks and Hopscotch do occasionally talk about evolution, so if that's a concern in your household, then you may want to go ahead and listen to the songs ahead of time and decide whether it's right for you and your family. So those are 4 alternative YouTube channels with fun children's songs that you can play instead of Cocomelon. We hope that's helpful for you and your family, and if it is, we'd certainly appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and go ahead and subscribe for more content like this.
And may you no longer have zombie children.